plasma coated the block and intake manifold. I didn't know that didn't have to be cut. Never asked. Cut. Not a lot of guys take the time or the money to tweak out an '84 Mercury Marquis. Mother thought it was a nice steak.
Just wait till some people get here, I guess.
Explain the itchy. I see you got hair. All right. Yeah. Like getting up to crack a dawn, smell a wet sheep, and rocking out that music. It's a 10 good practice, not embarrassing.
Hey, who would have got in here?
That's a caper? Hi. Oi. Tell us how to take a back of us. Why don't you take one yourself to me? Great. Can't wait. Maybe you should start with a smaller caper.
You can talk to me. I don't bite. Or maybe you can't hear me. I don't know. I only got one in here, but I don't know who it is. Let's see.
I know I've had a rough couple of days. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. Your hormones
Okay.
are rushing through this industrial.
Oh, I guess we'll wait till we get a few more in here. Give me a second. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah. Oh.
I'm sitting in that vehicle all day. Oh, it's man stuff. Get a dual torture and flame. Why don't you give it a shot? That, but I did back here. Just bring it or settling on the same.
I had them going in my live stream, not saying anything.
Scratch it across here, boy. Easy. I scored a piper. I want you to cut. All right. But don't go too slow. You're going to go right through it. Go too fast, and we're going to even cut. Open up your stance.
Sound like we're leaking all over the place.
Get down there, start cutting. There you go. Good.
That's like a nice hot cup of coffee.
I'm impressed. Neat. Man, you moving a new phase of life.
Hey, who we got in here? Somebody gave me a thumbs up already. Who is it? 1969 S double died. One-eyed cat. Hey, how you doing there, buddy? Well, there's another person in here, but I don't know who it is. There's two in here. Susan B. Anthony and 57 Chevy title. Yeah, oh, you guys didn't know this, but I also collect coins. Yep. Gives me something to do in the dead time when there's nothing going on here. Did you see the Oldsmobile video? One-Eyed Cat? I think it's got an exhaust manifold leak. The lady said it had a transmission trouble, but I think the torque converter was locked up, and somehow I freed it up. What I did was kept putting it in reverse and drive. Dear Stevenson, been keeping me busy. Oh, venison, huh? And one of the kids that I pick up from what is it, a tech school that he goes to, takes up automotive mechanics and stuff like that. And he's about the only one that talks to me when I'm driving him back to school from the tech building. He just whacked up his Ford F-250, so he was driving home, and he was going up this road that's known for being pretty bad as far as, being curvy and stuff. Well, apparently they didn't get to salting it or plowing it, and he went up it, and he wound up sliding. And instead of applying the brakes, what he did was he actually gunned it, and he wound up slamming into a boulder. And I was telling him, I said, if you would have braked, it wouldn't have been such a hard impact. But he didn't understand that. So, he's I told him, I said, get an old car. I said, get a, an old car and fix it up. I said, you can never go wrong with working on it. You can have big hands like me. They look, that's a big hand. Yeah, I know. Well, he's a guy though. He's working in a he's at a tech school working in a garage. I've seen him doing work in there, so he knows something about cars. But he's a teenager, so he's not gonna, you know. At some point, I guess adults are dumb in kids that age. But I'm trying to help him out. He's looking at a convertible BMW, and I'm like, yeah, this is, the problem with that is that it's going to cost you a lot for parts. And I said, even though the thing looks presentable, doesn't mean it's mechanically sound. So, I started telling him about, uh, valve seats and stuff like that. And my beater is my company vehicle. I'm only kidding. No. What do I got? I got 5 cars here. I got my mother's PT Cruiser, which is a 2003. She passed away in '04. Then we had the company I work for had a bunch of vans that they were getting rid of because they were what they call retired. It's like a bus, you can't drive them so many years. After that, they're no longer any good. You can't keep them in service. So I got one of them. It's a 2006 Town and Country van. Got 188,000 miles on it. Then, of course, you guys know the 57, the 69 olds, and my Jeep that I'm, still making payments. I'm going to be making payments on that for the next 3 years, maybe more. So, but I love working on the old cars. I have a thing for, getting my hands in there and getting dirty, the new cars, they don't do nothing for me because throttle body stuff, and if you got the clips that are supposed to be hooked to the wires, and if they're not plugged in or if they're missing, that tells the computer that there's a problem, and before you know it, you can't drive it anywhere. They just make everything today more difficult than it needs to be. Hey, unfinished, how you doing there, buddy? Hey, Don. Yeah, but we got about the same thing here. We got about 4 inches, 4 or 3 inches of snow here, but now it's gone. Because we had the rain all day. So, I mean, you'll still see traces of it out there in my driveway, but that's about it. I hear you, man. I just like to, relax after work and take a chill. Hmm.
She was leaving just like you should be.
Yeah, I have two channels, guys. The other one is it's the underscore. It's Rich underscore 220. But I changed it. I changed it to the chef blog or something like that. Because I have pictures left and right of pizzas that I made from scratch, cheesecake, Thanksgiving dinner, cooked ham, all sorts of crazy things. Uh, and it's not a sin to look at another woman. He's not dead, just married. You don't own him. That's a problem with women. They get possessive. So what's everybody doing tonight? And don't say going to the bar. Yeah, that's what I got here. It's still raining now. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of is it Bailey's or something in my coffee, when I'm not working. Uh, or Sambuca, or what was the other thing? Kahlua. But that's about it. I only do that once in a while. So, and a nice little surprise today. I was sitting there working, making breakfast, making home fries and sausage and cheese sandwiches, and I saw a mouse on my floor. So here we go with the sticky traps again. I know they don't like bleach. That much I do know. So I got to fill the bottle again with bleach and dilute it with water and spray again. Then I got to go back in there and, hey, Wendy, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks for subbing. Oh, okay. That's cool. Well, it's nice to know that. Yeah. If you guys leave me a comment, if I'm not subscribed to you, which I probably am, but if I'm not, just like in one of my videos or whatever, even if it's a short, just leave a comment, because I get bored sometimes, and I'll sit there and watch my own videos, believe it or not. Try and see what I could do better. And believe me, there's room for a lot of improvement. Like, I can't hold a damn camera still to save my life. And I do horrible, horrible filming as far as the shots go, unless it's like this, stationary. But my thing is I actually feel better about trying to get the people into where I'm at. I just wish I had better handling abilities. Yeah. Yeah, believe me, I'm only at 220. I need a lot of subscribers. And the problem is, a lot of these people have accounts that are private. So what happens is even though they subscribe to me, they wind up disappearing from my subscription list because their account is private. I don't see the name. The name doesn't show up in my list of people who have subscribed. That's what happens.
Steel worker. Hey, Mark, they got Baba boom time.
Uh, I guess you guys know what I'm watching, Tool Time or Home Improvement. Yeah, so I started going through let's see if you can see it. Come on. Quarters and dimes and stuff. I actually pulled some of the newer quarters out because they're supposed to have an error. And then, of course, I have more of them right there, more dimes to go through. The funny thing is, these banks are weird nowadays. I go in there and I said, yeah, I'd like to get $100 worth of quarters and $100 worth of dimes. And they're like, I'm like, I'm a customer here. I have an account here. And they're like, do you have a business? I'm like, yeah. Rich 220 Automotive Restorations LLC. There you go. And then they gave me no problem. Look, they even gave me a nice little bag to put my money in. Ooh. You used to be able to get boxes of halves and stuff like that. They won't even do that anymore. I don't think I'm going to find any, what do you call it? Silver dimes, though. I think that's going to be a stretch. Ooh. Choking on a little piece of bread. I like the things that they do with the cars in this, though. Like the 32 Roadster, the blue one. Then he gets like a 46. What is it? A 46 Plymouth or something like that. And before that, he had the Nomad. Well, actually, Nomad was supposed to be his wife's in the program, and they get that crushed. They crush a wagon, though, not a Nomad. Because when they show it in the body shop, you can see the top is like looking like this, but there's no lines going across the top like a Nomad has. So it's a wagon. Uh, Probably have to open up the laptop so I can see what you guys are saying because it appears for a couple of minutes and then it just like vanishes. Like whatever you say, even if you have a link, like if you type a link, it'll show up in a box where you're typing and then it'll just disappear. I got to sit there and start putting these Hot Wheels up on the wall again. I don't know how many I bought. I bought a whole slew of them, but I also have 3 tracks, and then there's one back here that has just the regular tracks. My plan was to use it to torture my brother, because of my baby brother. You're only as old as you feel, I mean. as far as that goes, he's always fun to torture. He'll sit here on the couch and watch TV, and I'll sit there and go like this to him. He'll get all slap happy and everything. Yeah. Might wind up getting some. I actually have some beer out in the kitchen too. Probably have to put it in the freezer though, if I do have any. It'll probably be one. They call me the beer tab sniffer. Kind of curious to see what the heck is in these. Normally, if they're run by Dunbar or something like that, and then they're not really going to be anything in them. You know. So this side. Yeah, I'll poke this thing and see if I can't open it.
Had a bad day. We all got bad days.
Probably go to a different bank tomorrow. Maybe I'll get some others. Yeah.
That happens. Make sure you get on the top of that pyramid. You don't want to be on the bottom of it. You gotta do is work on your ball handling.
So if I make a video, what do you guys want to see me do on what car? What would be more interesting to you guys? You know, if you're watching my videos, what would you want to see me do? Nothing? Well, we got 4 people in here. You got to have an opinion about something. Now 3. Okay. Well, would you rather see me do a headliner? You want to see me do a glove box? Put a new glove box in? You want to see the seats be reupholstered?
Jill took me this restaurant. I was glancing at these other women. Don't get me wrong. I love Jill. I'm crazy about her. She is a magnificent.
I'd like to put the headliner in. I got the hooks in the back for the, the hangers and everything. So upholstery would be cool. Okay. Yeah, because I think I showed you guys the other time. Last time I was on here. Let's see. Hold on. Get those so they don't fall out. I bought some new fabric. There's 8 yards here. Well, a little bit over 8 yards. And that's going to be for the seats. And some old leftover from, earlier. So I have this yet. And then I have, oh, this is heavy. Black vinyl. Let's see. Well, this is doubled up, so let's see. Yeah, there's no design on it. It's just, see if I can get this close enough to the camera. Can you see that? So that's going to be like what I'm going to do is, you know how some of the 57s, they have a weird design on the seats. Mine has the weird design. But I want to make it look like 4 spots, that are square black. Oh, no, wait.
Job you do with the show? No, Tim, you haven't.
Yeah, four of the spots will be like black, with the big, the hell they call those? Mother of pearl like buttons. I'm going to try and find them too. That's going to be fun. Because I already did the door panels, turquoise and black. And I just got to figure out the dimensions of the kickboards because I got to make those too. And then I want to make the backboards. I got some, what do you call panel board in here that I can cut up, and finish making what I need to make for that car on the inside. But it's still got I got tires for it, brand new tires are sitting in the back. I have stuff for the sandblast cabinet. Yeah, you know what the hardest part is getting the damn the length, and then the top, and then you have to go in the middle, and then you have to go down below. In order to get it right. Otherwise, because I don't have any templates for that. I mean, I had a part of a template for the door, so I made the doors the same way they originally were, in the original pattern, using 3 different types of material. I think it was like some kind of low pile carpet, didn't have any backing on it, and then the vinyl and the turquoise fabric that I have right here. But the other thing I got to do too is I got to find. I'm probably gonna have to find some, little switches for the door for when you open it up, the dome light goes on. Probably gonna have to find some new switches because I don't think those are gonna be any good. And that's the reason why the dome light doesn't work. It's got nothing to do with the dome light itself. It's just got to do with the wires that are supposed to go from the doors to the dome light.
I know you're upset that the rest of more than 1 minute without looking at another one. I think it had a lot to do with you trying to talk about that.
I don't think Bubba's in here, is he?
I know it sounds stupid. Sometimes when you book, it makes me feel less, like I lost a little
Awesome. And you gained.
Kid turned around and said to me something a little off the wall in the van before the other kids got on. Like, he's 18 years old. He's an adult, young adult, And he said something about having something. He ate something, and he says it tastes like ass. And I says, how in the hell would you know what ass tastes like? He kind of like caught himself. That was funny. Man, these things are packed in there tight. Kids are really off the wall sometimes, they have such a silly mind at their age. Man, I think I'm just gonna have to call this quits for this. These things are not coming out. Jesus. Ah, not moving. Yep. Another time for that then. So yeah, I gotta still do I'm gonna try and match up the door panels with the kickboards though, Everybody was making fun of me too. They're like, "Oh no, with a '57 Chevy, you can't play it cheap." I'm like, you don't know me very well, do you? Like, if there's a will, there's a way. And it's not the first car that I've actually done anyway. I redid a interior of a '50 Dodge. I also painted that. It was a 4-door Coronet and a '52 Plymouth Cranbrook Club Coupe. And that car came out of a junkyard. I'm not kidding you. Somebody took the number 3 connecting rod cap and tossed it. And there were no floors in the front. The seat was sitting on frame rails. That was it. And I got that car running. Of course, I had the engine and everything rebuilt afterwards, but, you know, the clutch plate needed to be resurfaced. I put in, new brake master cylinder, all lines and wheel cylinders. And I took the gas tank out because it had like black tar stuff in it. So I cleaned that out. And the old cars, the older ones, like the 455, some of the master cylinders on Dodge are weird. They're actually underneath the floor, like, where you're sitting, your feet are. And you have to remove this plate in order to get to the top of the master cylinder, Plus, the other thing is that, what was it? Something with the lug nuts. I think it's if it's on the passenger side, what's screwed up? What's screwed up? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The funny thing is that the whole time I worked on the 57, I never opened the shop manual once. I had no interest in reading anything in it. And I have a whole slew of shop manuals. I have Shilton manuals, I got shop manuals, I got part manuals. I got part manuals that go all the way back to the 30s. And they're all stacked up right out here on the other side of this wall. The one thing I'm glad I did find was the original owner's manual to that car. Because, I mean, I really wasn't interested in buying a reproduction. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they go one way on one side and one way on the other side. If you turn them the wrong way, you're going to strip them or break off the stud. How clear is that on this? Can you hear the music for Home Improvement really well or no? Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get demonetized for. What's funny though is that like YouTube can put music videos on there, or somebody can put music videos on there and play them, or they can play a record, that's owned by somebody. It has the rights to it, and yet they don't demonetize their video. It's like if we sit there and play like like we're like if say for example for the first time, I get a '57 Chevy running out of nowhere, and I'm playing some kind of like music from the Metallica or something like that. Oh, that's demonetization. Need to remove that video. Get rid of it. Sorry, can't have that. Like, what the hell? Yeah, that too. They don't like that either. And believe me, you know what I have on the other wall. So the only problem with that is they're very loud. It's like what they call a portable rack stereo, and not normal sizes. Especially those. Well, there's 5 of them I have up there that are really huge. I'll tell you one thing though. I don't mind driving the kids, but I'm telling you, man, Sitting in that thing from 5:30 in the morning until 4:30 at night. Oh, gets sore as hell, you know. Oh, trying to think what I'm gonna do later when this is all when I'm done here, you know. Probably be bored. The only problem is when you're in a house by yourself, man, you could have all this and still be bored, you know. 3 lives tonight. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't have a radio on. Shut the radio off when I record. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna. I'll be in it. I'll probably each one of those. Yeah, I usually make my presence known. Hey, all, what's up? You know. So somewhere in this house, I have a little square Bausch and Lomb thing, which has got the magnifying glass. It's a five times 5 hex, whatever they want to call it. More powerful than a lot of the other magnifying glasses. Probably even better than a jeweler's magnifying glass. I do have a jeweler's magnifying glass. But I don't know what the heck happened with it. I put it down in my bedroom on my end table, and now it disappeared. It may have rolled off. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. We're just hanging and shooting the breeze. That's all. I don't really have much to talk about, so it's like, you know, just jibber jabber. That's about it. Oh God. Ugh. Oh, hey, one-eyed cat. You want to see the stuff that I'm talking about? What I'm going to use for the backing of the kickboards and all that? You want to see what I have, so you get an idea? There's certain things that you can use that's actually better than others. Okay, here, I'll show you. Hold on. I gotta pull it out because I got it wedged in between my hot chair and whatever's on the other side over here, the cutting board. Okay, here it is. Oh, well, I gotta pull it out a little bit. That over. All right, bear with me. I gotta move this a little bit. No, it's not gonna move that way. That might be too much. Okay. Okay. Can you see this here? That's what I used in order to cut the boards. Well, I don't have any better lighting out here. Hang on, let me try something here. Maybe you can see it better with that light over there. If I can get it out of here. Yeah. All right. It's gonna be better. See what I'm saying now? See how this is? And then it's only like a little piece of board, you know? How's my hand? See how thin that is? That's good stuff to use for the kickboards and door panels, and even for the what is it? The back section.
No, I'll tell those pointed shoe.
Yeah, you get it at Home Depot. They usually sell it. It's like an 8x12 board. Usually it costs about $10, $11, and you can have them cut it in half for you. Yeah, but I have what is staple guns. So after I stitch everything together, I usually staple it to the back, and then I'll put like some kind of foam in there or something in order to puff it up a little bit, make it look like three-dimensional. And then, like on the car, there's some areas where I didn't pull it tight enough. So I have to actually pull the staples out. Yeah, that stuff. So I'll have to pull the fabric a little bit tighter before I restaple it again, But there's still a few things that I got to get. I don't have an original mirror for the car. I have somebody put one of those remote mirrors in, where you move the little stick or whatever inside the car. Well, that broke, so now the mirror doesn't stay where it's supposed to stay at all. So, which I don't think it should have had that mirror to begin with. I think it should have had a regular mirror. There's only one. I'm not drilling holes on the other door and putting another one in because it's not supposed to have it. And I'm probably going to do the sun visors over again too. Like I'll leave the original cardboard or board that they use on the sun visors on there, but I'm going to redo them probably in two-tone. I'll probably do them with the black vinyl and the green fabric or turquoise fabric. Yeah, I like experimenting with stuff with cars. Yeah, I've actually done them before. I did them on a 52 Plymouth. I did them on a Dodge. I did them on a 69 Impala Custom and on a 64 Volkswagen Bug. And I did door panels and everything. So just got to have an imagination when it comes to stitching the fabric together. You don't want to just do like one. Like I was watching, what was it, DD Speed Shop, and what he did was like plaid door panels, just one type of thing, and that was it. But it looked like somebody took something off of a picnic table, and threw it on there. It was like too bright, like a pinata, It just didn't look right. I mean, I got to give him credit for, to doing the, thing on the back of the car like he did, but, there's a little more to it than that. Yeah. I better plug this back in. I don't know how this phone reacts, but I remember my last phone when I had it unplugged in the charger, it wound up being like dead in a matter of 15 minutes. So, I mean, this is a new phone, but not that it's much better, What? Oh boy. Hey, one eye cat. What time are the other ones supposed to start their lives? Do you know?
Dad's gonna be fine. Mommy's gonna take good care of Daddy. Oh, honey.
I don't even know what the heck to make for dinner. I'm not really hungry. I got so many things I can cook. I got fish. I got chicken. 8 o'clock, huh? Jesus. You know, I actually set this up for 5 o'clock. It didn't go off. I had to redo everything over again. I don't know what it is with YouTube. Why doesn't it have me go live when I'm supposed to go live? I had to redo it again. It was supposed to be 5 o'clock, and I didn't get on here till 20 after.
You squealer!
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is that the boards that I use for the 57, the original boards were actually compressed paper that was just as thick as that. And on the other side, they actually had that little Xing, little checkerboard thing so you can, staple it so it grips to it. That's the only reason why the door panels came out as good as they did. Otherwise, it would have come out like garbage, And then I found out that not only did I buy a staple gun, but I already had one. I got staplers all over the place. There's at least 4 or 5 of them in here. I got to go down to the reupholstering shop and try and get some of that foam, for the seats because there's nothing on it. It's just all that cotton or whatever. It's all gone. Springs are still there, and that's about it, really.
These guys.
The back part of the front seat's there, but it's all ripped up. Probably from sitting so many years. And the headliner's there. That's what I was talking to Bear Rose about it. He was like, don't put any of that sound deadening stuff up there on top. I'm like, I don't have to. It's still there from originally when it was done back in 57. No mouse went up there and made a nest, so I don't have to worry about it. And I found these little tack nails, like, I guess it's kind of like the same thing that they used for the 57. They had these little tack nails in it, and they put them right in these little tiny holes and on the outside of the door panel. Down on the bottom, there's like a slot, and I have that part of the door panel right in that slot, so it sits there. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? When I get done with mine, you know damn well they're going to look good. You know? And the fabric is cheap enough. It was like $28 for 8.5 yards. You know? And the other thing is that I don't use regular sewing thread. I use reupholsterer's thread. That's a lot thicker. That's got the heavy dutiness like fishing line. No, it isn't. That's what I'm saying. But the problem is a lot of Walmarts are getting rid of the fabric shops. So it's like I gotta buy what I can before it's gone. And I guess I ought to start getting some stuff for the Oldsmobile because apparently that car is not finished. It started up and drove back and kind of like spun tires in the snow and everything. Once I freed up that torque converter, yeah, I didn't expect that. I expected to spray like transmission fluid all over the firewall, but it didn't do it. So. And then, like I said, before I even moved the thing, I checked the dipstick. It had about like that much on the dipstick. and then I put another cord in, so probably mean like that, you know. And I got to check the radiator, and then I probably have to put new valve covers on that, gaskets on that, because that thing, I mean, when I got done and I turned it off, that thing was smoking by the spark plugs and everything else. So this went out. Okay, that's great. Nothing like puffing on a cigarette. That's dead. But what was I saying? Oh, that car was given to me. Didn't cost me a dime. The lady even towed it all the way up here. She had AAA bring it up to my house, and she originally wanted me to restore it for her because it was her father's car. He bought it in Texas. Well, that's what she said, but he actually bought it in Jersey. There's a dealer thing on the back of it from Jersey, not from Texas. It's actually from New Brunswick. But the lady actually gave me the car. She wanted to restore it, and then what happened was she started having problems health wise. She said something about her equilibrium and all this other stuff, like, you know, she couldn't stand for long. She couldn't do much because she couldn't stand, get lightheaded and stuff like that. So she wound up sending me the title and sent me the keys in an envelope, and she said, "Good luck with it." I was like, "Okay." So that's why I took all that Bondo off that fender. I can't believe they used so much product on that fender. And there was no rust. There was no cancer spot there. There was no reason for it. It was a superficial dent right at the crease. It had a couple little, you know, like crooked spots. But I mean, you know, if you took the fender off and you got in there with a screwdriver, you could straighten that out, you know, and then you can sit there and tap on the inner part of it with a rubber mallet and it would pop right back out, you know. They used over an inch of material for at least 3-4 foot of the fender. Yeah, that wasn't done by me. That was done by somebody else, man. I don't work with Bondo. I don't like the stuff. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, it's all in the way you prep it." I'm like, no. I've seen people sit there and take spreaders that are literally this big, okay, and just smear that stuff all the way up and down a car like they're plastering a wall. You know, and I'm like, you're not supposed to use that like that. It's supposed to be like a what the hell I call that? Like a finisher, you know, something to, like, I do metal work. I don't do Bondo, you know. I only use like what do I call that? Fiberglass resin. And I only use it like a seam sealer. That's it. Yeah. So, but that's how I do the things. You know, a lot of people are like, hey, you know, I with all the some of the videos I get goofy and stuff like that, like the thing with my brother about, you know, his he always used to call me and he's a goofball. He's always been a goofball. And yeah, yeah. But see, the thing is, what I usually do is because with the doors on that 57, you couldn't get underneath it. You know what I'm saying? Like go back behind it. So I had to go in front of it. So what I did was I drilled some holes and I put some pop rivets in. You know what I'm saying? Then what I did was I grinded it down and until it was flat. And then, you know, I just right where the metal meets the metal, I just put a little overlapping and then smooth it out. So that way you can't see it. You know what I mean? And then on the other ends of the doors, what I'll do is I'll fold the metal in. And if I can get the welding machine to work, you know, then I'll just weld that up inside so I don't have to worry about it, you know, get caught on something, coming apart or whatever, you know. I could weld the door metal to the door, but, you know, then I have to strip everything off in order to do that. So, Yeah, see, that's the thing is, that's the other thing I want to do. I want to get that Pour 15 stuff for underneath because the frame rails on this car are solid, and so are the floorboards, and so is the trunk pan. You know, where you put the spare tire, it's all there. There was a little hole on a little rotted spot on the driver's side panel that meets the trunk pan. Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy? Um, Thanks for coming in. But the inner panel that actually meets the trunk pan, there was like a little hole just before, like where I guess you would consider the wheel well. And I took some metal and patched it up. I just and then there was a couple like there was around where you put the weather stripping for the trunk. There was a hole there, and then there was a hole right in the middle, uh, underneath where the trunk would go in a trunk lid, and I filled them both in. You know, so I actually located a different glass shop because I had a bad dealing with somebody already a couple of months back. Steve, if you're not in Jersey, I don't know what you're talking about, and I know you're not in Jersey. Yeah. Now I actually have a couple of moldings from I think it's a 70 Chevelle, from for the runner board. I'm wondering if I can actually fabricate them and make them look like the 57 one. Because I only have one 57 runner board, and it's like mint condition. There's not even scratches on it. There's a little overspray of paint, but that's it. That's something you clean off with 000 steel wool. And then when we had what the heck was it, Island Raceway, the swap meet down there. Yeah, I know. That's what I figured, Steve. What was I saying? Oh, but I did find another shop that has glass, but I think they mostly do doors. I don't know if they're going to be able to do double pane windows. I mean, it's only flat glass; it's got to be cut. But um, I'm not too keen on putting those fiberglass things in. I think no, not fiberglass, plexiglass. I'm sure they didn't come out anywhere near looking like the other. And how do you clean up plexiglass when it's scratched? Do you take sandpaper to it or something? Really fine sandpaper? Anybody know? I think it's like really fine sandpaper, like uh, the plastic lenses on the cars that they have nowadays. They say you use like car wax, or rubbing compound or machine glaze or something like that in order to get the dullness off. So this is like the scratches that are on it are like superficial. They're not really embedded deep into it. But I'd like to get them cleaned up a little bit if I have no other choice but to put those in. I'm not going to a car show with a window that's taped up with packaging tape. I'm sorry. The only reason why that's still in the car right now is because of the fact that I don't have anything else. The other problem is I have to keep swapping batteries. Ugh, I get a battery that I have in the 57. I got to take it out and put it in the olds in order to start it. Then back to the 57, then back to the olds. Then I got my mother's PT. That's got a dead battery. It's got 4 flat tires too. It's been sitting in that carport for about 9 years. I haven't driven it. That thing's got 64,000 miles on it. That's it.
partners.
Yeah, I know, Steve, but yeah, I know what you're saying. The disgruntled United States postal workers, they like to slam things down on counters and break them. Very few times will you wind up getting anything shipped to you without it being broken. Like one of the radios I have on the shelf up here was shipped to me, okay? And the guy actually bubble wrapped the hell out of it, put it in a box, put popcorn foam underneath it and along the sides of it, then put it in another box, okay, and did the same shit. And that's, I mean, it made it up here, but it they broke there's like a battery wall, you know, like where, you know, so that way they don't fall out. Well, they broke that off, and four of the D batteries that the guy accidentally left in there were rolling around inside the radio, you know. It's just lucky that nothing got broken, like none of the boards or anything like that, and I was able to fix the back plate, you know. But those radios, most of them are from like the 80s anyway. That's stuff that, you know, like when I was a kid, I wish I had the money for them, but I didn't, you know. And then these I actually got from collectors, you know, the not on eBay. They were people I knew. The one guy sold me a bunch of crappy radios, but the other guy sold me some decent radios, you know. There's two radios I think I paid about, oh, maybe $1,000, but the other three, the one radio I didn't pay nothing for. The other radio I got because it was this guy's wife, ex-wife, bought it for him. He didn't want any memory of her, so he pretty much gave it to me in the collection. There was two radios he gave me. He gave me that one, which actually has Bluetooth in it, and he gave me one that has white speakers. It's a smaller radio, but it's an expensive radio because they're normally not known for having white speakers on this radio. I have three others that have black speakers. Okay. Thanks for stopping in, One Eye Cat. Appreciate it, man. Take it easy and don't do much. Chill. Steve's in Florida. Yeah. Yeah, you still here, Steve? Steve, you still here? Steve Duncan, are you still here? Oh, remember that guy that you found the license plate light for me? There were no screws in it, no screws in the lenses. The wire was frayed. Okay. The lens is cracked. I don't know if you saw that. But what is it with people and you know the screws and stuff? Why can't they just leave that with it? It don't go to anything else. You know what I mean? It's like that's so stupid. He even took the screws out of the lenses. There's supposed to be two screws holding that lens in place. Nothing there. You know? It's like charging me $25 for something that's probably worth about $8 at the most. You know? And like that's why I said like the one I have, it's got a cracked lens, but I mean it's a broken lens, but I still have the housing, you know. I can just run another uh base in the hole and run a wire out. I think somewhere around here, actually, hang on a second, I'll be right back. Pretty sure it's right over here. There it is. Now this is, believe it or not, the original bulb that was in the license plate light that I have, and the filament is still in there. It's not burnt out. I mean, the casing's got to be cleaned up, and so does the glass a little bit, but it's still there, you know. That's the original bulb.
Really? Love
You can see some spots where it's cleaner and some where it's not, you know. But it's still intact. So, yeah, and at least with that there, I can actually, you know, I can get some screws that'll match up with it, you know, and put it back together if that's what I have to do, you know. Ugh. And the other thing is metal clips. You know where I can get those, Steve? Decent priced, not something that's like outrageous. I actually started making my own. I got tired of seeing the prices online being so expensive. I'm like, you know, you could probably get them for another car. Actually, I did get stainless steel mounting clips for other cars from like Home Depot. You know, they had them in the aisle that they have the screws and nuts and bolts and everything. They have little packages. Yeah. Are they decent price though, or are they outrageous? See, that's the thing. It's like classic Chevy or something like that, or year one. They're usually expensive, you know. And I'm living on a budget, you know that. It's just me. I'm paying the bills here, you know. I got one job. I can't work any more than that because, you know, I had the heart attack. We already been through this deal. I have a stent in my arteries. I'm heavy. You know, I have high blood pressure, the arthritis in my foot, and lower back problems. Okay. All right. I have to check them out then. I just want to find out if those molding pieces are long enough to cover the bottom of the runner board, you know. And I might be able. I think they're pretty much. They pretty much look like them, you know. They didn't really change much. The thickness is the same. I know that. Well, not the thickness of the metal, but the you know the width and I think the length is about the same because they came off a four door. So I think 70 Malibu runner board moldings. I think they were actually pretty big. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody needs these. These things I got back here on the wall. Hold on a second. See, Bel Air. And that says Bel Air on it too. But, you know, I'm not going to leave them aside. That's why I brought them in. The other thing is, what I need is another headlight bezel for the driver's side. You know, the chrome piece that goes around the headlight because it's cracked. And every time I go past it, my clothes get caught up on it. Well, now we're down to two. I guess we're going to call this short tonight, huh?
Here I am trying to get these two pieces together, and all he does is put the metal in the garage.
Well, that's because to him it's more than just a metal. To him, it's a 1934 Roadster Street Rod, Mystic Midnight Blue, Queen Bee headlights, suicide doors with hidden hinges.
Something a woman would never understand. Well, most women, anyway. Just a piece of metal with wheels. It's funny because a lot of women don't even know what a combustion chamber is. It's like, hello.
Burger? Great party, Jim. You know, I think the Western shirt paid off.
I think we're pretty much going to call this quits. It looks like we've died down to about 3 people in here. And I think that one of them is only Steve, right? Steve, you're still here? I don't know who else is here. I think we're just going to call it quits. Well, I'll go for a couple more minutes and then, we'll get off of here. So I'm gonna probably do some small stuff tomorrow with the 57. I'll probably take the old glove box out and put the new one in, and then maybe I'll get started on the headliner. You know, I'd like to get I'd like to do the kickboards. Make them because it's easy for me. It's just a matter of stitching it up, and kind of making it match with the door panels. I'm probably gonna do turquoise on the top, a middle piece that'll be black, or maybe it'll be black on the top and turquoise in the middle, and then black on the bottom again. And then that little window in the back, behind the doors, that's also got a board on it. I got to take those out. I didn't even paint those yet. Those are still green. Then I got to take that musical note plate off, and I got to take some steel wool to that and clean that up. It's a little bit on the rusty side, probably from sitting back there so long. And get rid of the rest of that garbage material they had in there. See what else. That's the other thing too, is I got to get one of those little, the ring that goes underneath the horn ring, in between the steering wheel and the horn ring. I have to get that metal ring for the 3 screws to go in, and then the wire that goes out to this here. I have it right here. This is the horn relay switch. The new one, brand new. See, this is closed? No, it's not. It's still open. All right. Yeah, it's a brand new horn relay switch. That's what it looks like. So that's what I got to get. I got to get that other metal disc or whatever that goes in there. I think they took that out too, and I don't think I can locate that part that easy. A lot of the parts I've gotten from Advanced Auto Parts. I've had somebody in there help me out, because sourcing the parts for that car not that easy. All right, folks, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for um, talking with me. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. It helps me out in the long run. I mean, way down the road, because it's going to be a long time before I get anywhere near anybody out here. But yeah, like and subscribe, and leave a comment, and hit the bell for post notifications as always. And if you want to share it to another social media platform, be my guest. All right, it only helps me get more people to have some kind of interest in what I'm doing. All right, And I'm probably going to make another video but tomorrow's going to be a little more in depth. It's probably going to be inside. I'm going to start doing the kickboards and the windows behind the doors in the back. And then, what the heck is it? I'm going to start getting the patterns ready for the seats. All right, everybody, have a good evening, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm going to be in the other lives later, too. All right.
Get those McGurn boys?
Bye-bye now.